Today we're making chicken marsala, an Italian-American dish of golden pan-fried chicken and mushrooms in a rich marsala wine sauce, paired with the most creamy garlicky mashed potatoes. As a side dish, we will be serving citrusy asparagus topped with Parmesan cheese. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Let me show you how to put it all together. Begin by preparing your ingredients. We'll need 2 to 3 chicken breasts, depending upon how many fit in your pan. Slice them lengthwise and season them well on both sides with salt and pepper. Cover your chicken with parchment paper and pound your chicken by using the flat side of the meat mallet. This will allow for faster and more even cooking. I have 1 pound of fresh mushrooms that I'm simply going to wipe with a paper towel. You can use any mushrooms you enjoy, cremini or brown mushrooms, they will all work perfectly. I prefer to remove the stems, but you don't have to. This is just a preference. Slice them thickly and set them aside. We will use them in just a minute. Time for the cooking show to get started. Pour half a cup of flour into a bowl and dip each chicken slice, shaking off the excess flour. The flour will give the chicken that golden brown crispiness and capture all of the flavors of the juices from the sauce. Preheat a pan over medium-high heat and add 2 tablespoons of oil and 2 tablespoons of butter. Add your chicken and cook on medium-high heat for 2 to 3 minutes on both sides until it's nicely browned. Set aside and let the chicken rest while you're cooking the mushrooms and making the marsala wine sauce. In the same pan, add 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter, and once it's melted, add your mushrooms. Cook on medium-high heat, stirring occasionally until they have released their liquid and you start seeing some color on your mushrooms. We love mushrooms in our family, so this dish is a no-brainer, a family favorite. Use 2 to 4 garlic cloves, and I'm mincing mine by using this amazing garlic chopper. You can simply chop yours or use a garlic press. Stir it in, mixing continuously not to burn the garlic. This garlic smells amazing. Sauté for about a minute and then add 1 cup of Marsala wine. This is a very inexpensive wine and a must-have in your pantry. Then add 3/4 cup of chicken stock, and homemade is always most welcomed. Reduce the heat to medium and let the sauce simmer and boil down until the alcohol from the wine has evaporated, about 4 to 5 minutes. I like to be time efficient, so during this time I will peel roughly 3 pounds of golden potatoes. Russet potatoes will work perfectly as well. Chop them up and then put them into cold water. Once the sauce is slightly reduced, pour in 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of crème fraiche, which is optional but very recommended. I absolutely love crème fraiche. I normally buy it from Costco, but they have it in every store. I add it to all my sauces and it makes them very creamy and adds a lot of flavor to your dish. Continue cooking for another 4 minutes or until it's slightly thickened. Once the sauce is slightly thickened, it's time to return your chicken back into the pan. The sauce already has a lot of flavors, but feel free to add more salt and pepper to taste. As a final touch, sprinkle with 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. Now generously spoon this velvety buttery sauce all over your chicken and keep it on the stove on low heat until your chicken is heated through, and you can keep it warm until you're ready to serve. Now bring your potatoes to a boil and salt them really well and add a bay leaf. In a separate medium saucepan, we're going to infuse our milk mixture. Add 1.5 cups of milk, and heavy cream will work perfect as well. Then add 3 to 4 peeled and smashed garlic cloves. If you have garlic confit, even better. A sprig of rosemary and 1 stick of butter. Bring that up to a simmer and do not boil. Leave it uninterrupted on medium-low heat to infuse all of those flavors. While your potatoes are boiling, let's prepare our side dish, Monsieur Asparagus. Wash your asparagus and place it over a kitchen towel. Do not cut the ends of your asparagus, simply snap off the end from each spear and discard. It naturally breaks where the rough portion ends. Set aside and let it release any moisture. We will come back to it in just a minute. Our potatoes are fork tender, and let's drain them, and you might as well get a facial. Don't forget to remove the bay leaf, that's not edible. To mash your potatoes, you can use your regular potato masher, but the key to no lumps mashed potatoes is a potato ricer. It's basically a giant garlic press. This ricer comes with 3 attachments. Use the smallest one. If you don't have a ricer, you can take a fine mesh sieve and then push those potatoes through. It's the same idea, it's just less convenient. I used to mash them with a regular potato masher or with an electric mixer, but I never really had that desired creamy no-lump texture. I finally understood why I used to get gummy mashed potatoes. You never add cold milk to your hot potatoes. The chemistry simply doesn't work. Your potatoes will turn gummy and will be ruined. Transfer your warm milk through a sieve and slowly mix that in. Oh, this is so creamy. And now it's the perfect time to do a taste testing and add any salt to taste. Transfer them to a serving platter and spread them nicely with a spoon. Add more dots of butter, chives or parsley, whatever you have, and definitely a sprinkle of salt. This is a well-proofed garlic mashed potato recipe. It's so creamy and fluffy, very flavorful. Now that our main course is done, let's go back to our asparagus. I'm not a fan of boiling the asparagus or heating an entire oven for the side dish. Here's the perfect way to deliciously saute your asparagus in less than 1 minute. Get your skillet piping hot and place your asparagus on your pan with nothing in there first. Lay them down in one row and toast them on high heat. Move them around a bit, and all you're doing is drying out the skin. Now add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and shake your skillet to coat your asparagus with oil all around. Add salt and pepper to taste, and at this point they need 45 seconds to be done. Now this is the perfect color we're looking for. Add 1 tablespoon of butter and toss it around a few times. Turn off the heat. Grate some Parmesan cheese on top and some fresh lemon zest. And voila! This is an amazing and most simple way to cook your asparagus. Our chicken marsala is served, our creamy mashed potatoes are still warm, and the lemon Parmesan asparagus was cooked in no time. Let me show you how to plate it. Simple but very impressive. Place a few asparagus on your plate and top it with your buttery mashed potatoes. Add a slice of chicken and spoon that delicious mushroom sauce on top. This classic chicken marsala is super creamy, very flavorful, and extremely easy to make. Cook a chef-tasting chicken recipe right at home, like a pro. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing before you go. Enjoy! See you next time!